if you want explosions.
Except no substitutes.
I've played over 7,000 hours of Dota with almost 700 games. One of the most hated heroes to ever exist in the game. Techies. I played almost every iteration of the hero. Terrible start where no one knew how to play as or against him after 20 minutes. The hour-plus games where Techies decided if the game ended or not. The ones where there was instant Roshan kills, basically being a right-click sniper 2.0. But now, with Techies' last rework back in 2022, they are relatively normal heroes. I fully believe that Techies is a strong, flexible hero that sits perfectly in a 4th or 5th position, and this guide sets out to explain why. Techies' abilities have become a lot more streamlined over the years, better fitting into Dota overall, but this has just made people underestimate them. Techies' first ability, Sticky Bombs, are decent slow and burst damage, great for chasing and securing kills in the early game. Once the bombs are stuck to a hero, they will follow them whether they blink, TP, or use any other false movement, allowing you to keep track of their movements. Reactive Taser is useful in tight situations to use the movement speed boost to chase down or escape, and using the disarm debuff for more escape and safety options in a team fight. With Agshard, this gives Techies the ability to put this buff on teammates, perfect for saving your carry in late game fights. Proximity Mines are the last remaining ability from old Techies, slightly more balanced but still strong as ever. The most important part of this ability, apart from placing 3 right next to an enemy and watching them disappear off the map, is the magic resistance reduction they place on the enemy, with the debuff stacking and boosting any extra magic damage. Finally, Blast Off, Techies' best ability in the early and mid game. Building HP on Techies on top of his secret source facet gives Techies a huge amount of damage in the early game, allowing him to completely dominate a lane, change the outcome of a team fight, and start or prevent massive ganks. Techies was already strong at controlling the pace of the game and even controlling the entire map, but now with the changes to their ability, that control has been lessened, but there is one point where they can completely control team fights, and a big part of that is Minefield Sign Ags in the mid to late game. Techies has a lot of options for items, is able to adapt to any situation in the late game, but starting out we want to take advantage of Spleen, Secret Source and Blast Off. Starting items are the standard Tango, Blood Grenade, 2 Iron Branches and a Sentry Ward, 2 Gauntlets of Strength. Starting with 2 Gauntlets gives more damage to Blast Off, increasing the starting damage from 150 without the Secret Source facet to 210 with the facet, and then 230 with starting items. This will also increase as the laning phase goes on, with 3 levels in Blast Off, Bracer and Wand, the damage reaches 411. This is all including the default magic resistance. So in lane, we want to get Bracer or Wand first, whichever is better for the current scenario. If lane has gone well, becomes Soulring is great for mana and giving more HP. Coming out of the lane, we want to start to finish Arcane Boots and decide on the next item to build. This is where Techies' itemization can split off in 3 avenues based on the state of the game. If your team needs more survival or safety, Glimmer Cape. If the game has gone well, but the team is lacking stuns, pick up a Rod of Atos. And if the game has gone well so far, stuns are fine, Acceptor. Acceptor will give you complete control of the team fight, and also deal a huge amount of damage to enemies who are stupid enough to hold forward and keep trying to fight. No matter what item you get first of the 3, they're all core items that the Techies will need to properly support his team and make an impact throughout the game. The next important items are Agshard for more support for the team, and personally for me, Aether Lens for better mine placement, better catch with Rod of Atos, and Blast Off, and most importantly, getting more range for Reactive Taser. From here there are a lot of options for items, but it's important to look at the state of the game first. Lotus Orb is a great item for quickly removing debuffs from teammates during fights, and Greaves can be helpful for more sustaining fights, but is extremely situational and not always worth picking up every game. If there are enemies that are quickly jumping onto you or teammates, a full staff is a great pickup to reposition yourself, teammates and enemies. Also, full stuffing enemies in that minefield sign area will force them to take a bunch of damage very quickly. If you have one enemy you need to stop channeling, such as Warlock or Witch Doctor, or just need a little bit of extra control, a Yours is also a great pickup. If there are no other items to go, the next best item may seem to start building towards the level 25 talent, but getting to the same farm as your hard carry is going to take long, so instead we go for Heart to Earth, build upon Blast Off in the late game. It adds more survivability and you become much more annoying in team fights. In terms of gameplay, early game we want to have Blast Off max first, going for 1 point in sticky bombs, and if the lane requires it, a point in reactive taser. Thanks to Techies' attack range, they can output damage from a safe distance and using sticky bombs to catch enemies sitting in the fog. The biggest threat in lane is Blast Off as both an offensive and defensive tool. Enemies will rarely be prepared for Techies flying in from out of nowhere, giving your team a chance to escape a gank or react and get a kill. During the laning phase, you just want to play as you would in normal sport. Core lanes, harass lanes, and react ganks. Keeping an eye on other lanes is important as, once again, the damage and stun from Blast Off can quickly turn any gank around. Also during the early game, you want to use proximity mines to prevent enemies from freely walking around the map. Placing them on the entry points into your jungle and triangle are great ways to effortlessly protect your carry whilst they farm, and giving a great way to alert your team of the enemy position. Moving into the mid game, you want to start pushing more and taking map objectives like Tormenta and Roshan. Blast Off and Minefield Sign also a great combo to stop enemies that are in the middle of taking Roshan. Minefield Sign is also great when pushing, as it can be placed as you're pushing an objective, preventing a fight right on top of your team. A great example of this is using Minefield Sign in combination with a ranged pusher such as Drow or Sniper to further protect them, and once they get jumped on, use the Glimmer Cape and Tase on them to prevent any further damage as the team fight starts. Late game is very different compared to old Techies. Whereas before Techies had complete control of the late game, nowadays Techies has to play normal Dota, but still has way to late the game in his favour. Proximity mines can be placed in such a way as to prevent lanes being pushed in, and Minefield Sign can also stop high ground pushes along with proximity mines in the base, stopping any reckless deep dives. Attacks damage talent and proximity mines help massively with pushing and taking high ground objectives. Just as in previous patches, Techies has a number of great teammates and terrible enemies they can match up against. With changes to bombs and kits, these teammates have changed, but many of the bad matchup enemies have remained the exact same. Of course, Techies will get along with anyone with a decent stun or slow on top of great teamfight potential. In the offlane, some of these heroes include Axe, Stormbreaker, Legion, Viper, Mars. Heroes that can push aggression and receive a lot of abuse in lane. In the safe lane, it's very similar, but a lot of success can be found with Drow and Sniper, two long-range heroes with decent damage output and slows. It's important for a carry in this lane to be able to get kills off Techies' damage output, and they have to catch up to the enemies with their abilities. Along with Drow and Sniper, Jug, Spectre, Phantom Lancer, Ursa and Slug are great at playing off of Techies, and able quickly to turn around on kills Techies is able to set up. As for enemies Techies struggle with, any hero with survivability or escape options can be very annoying to deal with. Lifestealer and Abaddon are the top of this list, due in fact to their ability to negate damage, along with Brewmaster and Dazzle. Necro, Jug and Phoenix also slightly fit into this category due to their abilities. And the escape heroes, there are a huge number that are annoying for Techies to deal with. Anti-Mage, Centaur, Clockwork, Darkseer, M-Spirit, Earth Spirit, Storm Spirit, Void Spirit, Faceless Void, Phantom Lancer, Primal Beast, Phantom Assassin, Queen of Pain, Puck, Tinker, Weaver. They're not impossible to beat, they're just very annoying to deal with. A lot of them can be countered with Rod of Atos, but a Scythe or Orchid on top of Rod can fully control these characters and shut them down. Now, there are two more heroes that can cause massive issues for Techies. First is Nyx Assassin. Spike Carapace can spell absolute doom for any initiation from Techies and send the damage back. The second hero is Ricky, but specifically for his shard, which prevents any ally in the smoke screen from being targeted by unit target abilities, and this includes abilities such as Reactive Taser and items such as Glimmer Cape, Otosorb and Force Staff. It being a science also prevents yourself from using any abilities if you're jumping in, and saving yourself if the Ricky jumps on you. Techies is finally a normal hero, and my thoughts, they are really strong in a patch where people are really struggling in the offlane, and the usual mid heroes have received a lot of nerfs. I do miss the old Techies sometimes, just being able to blow up a team with one button and delaying the game as long as I wanted to. There's still ways to play as a greedy Techies, especially aggressively, with Aether Lens, Field Blade and Shiva's Guard. But that build is a lot less popular in the most recent patch, just due to Ethereal Blade and Aether Lens being split up as recipes. Techies is now played best when they join in with the team composition, and they can work with any team setup whilst being able to adapt their build to suit whatever the team currently needs, and still having their own strong identity in Dota. Maybe one day Valve will give us a facet to change the mind around, similar to how they used to be, and everyone can then go back to fully hating on Techies and banning him every single game.